This is actually not an ideal way to study for the MCAT. I'm going to give you two adult learning theory-based reasons why, and then I'm going to tell you my anecdotal experience with people who do that, and then I'm going to tell you what you should do instead if you want to be really efficient and effective in your MCAT studying. The first adult learning theory principle we have to think about here is called interleaving. It's this idea that if you have a number of different things to learn, you'll be better off learning a little bit of each, stacking them together like the pages of a book. You'll actually retain things a lot better when you're stacking concepts like that. The second principle that comes out here is called state-based learning. You want to practice and acquire a thing in the way that you're going to perform the thing. So for the MCAT, that means you're going to sit there for 7.5 hours and you're going to do all of these different concepts adjacent to each other in rapid succession. So when you're learning, it actually is somewhat beneficial if you're learning it in a similar way, where you're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I've been teaching the MCAT for about 10 years now, and one of the things I see is that when people try to address studying in blocks like this, they wind up getting really burnt out and irritated with each individual subject because you're sick of it by the time you're done. It's not really realistic to sit down and say, I'm going to learn this subject today, all of this subject, and you sit there and bang your head against the wall until you learn it. I mean, you may ultimately learn it, but it's going to come with a lot of frustration and irritation. So you develop this negative emotional reaction to it, and that actually affects your performance. So here's what I recommend you do instead. You may have seen some of my other videos where I talk about how to do and review practice questions and how to divide that up into level 1, 2, and 3 mistakes. If you haven't seen it, you can find it on my page. If you sort it by most viewed, it's one of the most viewed videos on my page. So once you've reviewed a practice test and you have your level 1, 2, and 3 mistakes, and then you have study blocks coming up, what you do is you mix up topics. So say you have 3 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. Your 3 hours in the morning might start with doing some practice questions to address your level 1 and level 2 mistakes. Just, get more reps in on the stuff that you understand but just need some practice with. Then in your afternoon, you'll do the more passive learning. You'll do some of the content acquisition through reading chapters or watching Khan Academy videos or going over your notes, since you will have done more of the active learning when you're sharper at the beginning of the day. And as you're doing that, you're mixing together topics. So you'll do a little bit of Chem Phys, a little bit of Biochem, maybe some cars here, some Psych Soc there. So you're not learning everything about anything in one day, but you're learning something about most things that you have to study most days. You're getting a little bit at a time. You're not getting burnt out or frustrated with any one topic. I hope that helps.